Could you possibly break one of these myths that exist today about mental health?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that you talked about, like taboo and culturally, certain cultures, especially or certain generations, don't feel that mental health is something that you talk about. You just, take it, deal with it. One of the things that I do want to say that I've seen, it's kind of come across in different circles as well, is people thinking that they only need a therapist if they're in a, crisis, really bad situation. And that's really not the case. If you're in crisis, you probably need something more urgent. But like I mentioned before, I think we all have had some sort of struggle at some point in our lives. And sometimes you feel like maybe the people around you don't really understand, or maybe they're the cause of some of the stress and you can't really talk about it to other people, or you do have a little bit, maybe you do have a little bit of that, embarrassment of talking to people that are closest to you. But I think that, at any point in our lives when you need a professional, if you have, if you have a pain in your back, you can tell your family and friends, but if they're not doctors, well, how are they gonna help you, right? At some point, you're gonna go to a doctor and say something, and to try to relieve that pain. So in the same way, when you're dealing with heartache, you're dealing with negative thoughts, obsessive thoughts, whatever that is, whatever is going on in your head that you think like, I don't feel like myself, like this is really stressing me out, whatever it is, that is when you should be seeking some professional help. That's when you can get a therapist to help
Mm,
you to deal with those things. Don't let it get worse, because our mental health spills over into every aspect of our lives. Our family, our friends, our work, um, everything.
mm,
So if there's something in your heart, if there's something in your mind that you feel is not okay, like I've been there personally, I had to seek therapy years before I even started working here at this clinic. And because I wasn't feeling like me, I wasn't feeling like I was, giving I was so, stressed and depressed, after losing my mom, that I felt like I wasn't my normal me. I wasn't a normal wife. I wasn't a normal mom. I wasn't a normal person at work. I needed somebody professional to talk to. And so it really helped me, to be able to get back to myself again and feel like I could then handle, those little things in life that were somehow in my head were so much bigger because of where I was at in my life, and not feeling like I was doing everything that I could, for my family, for my friends, for my work. I just wasn't in a good space. So it's really, really important for people to understand that if you feel like you need some help, it's okay. It's okay to get that help at
okay.
that time.
Thank you. I know you kind of went into a vulnerable position there. So thank you for sharing that personal experience because I've grown up in a household and I know countless other people have grown up in a household where they're like mental health. What mental health? Focus on your studies. Get
Mhm,
your work done.
mhm.
Go outside. Do this. You need to get your head straight. Like, yeah, I need to get my head straight. That's part of, you know, the help I possibly need.
Yep.
Right. And then when you start thinking about it, there's a different side. Is am I going crazy? No, you're not. It's part of living life.
Mhm,
And part of living life is asking for help. And asking for help, I don't think there's shame associated with that.
mm,
And if anything, it's allowed me to show up better,
mhm.
become a much better person than I was, maybe, or accept things that are out of my control and just make the most out of it. And then one foot after the other.
Yep.
And that way I don't feel, why me?
Mhm.
What's this? What
Yeah.
is this?
Yeah.
Right.
It's not necessarily, yes, yeah, it's not necessarily gonna solve your problems, but like you mentioned, it gave you some tools. It gave you a different kind of mindset, on how to deal with life. you know, on how to deal with your day to day. And that's what's really important. It's not, it may not get rid of your problems or your worries, but it allows you to handle them in a more positive way, I think. And I think,
Sometimes it's okay to just say it out loud, and then
yeah. And
once
sometimes that's all it
like,
is. It's
even
just,
today,
mhm,
that's all I need. Even today, sometimes that's all I need. I just need to voice it, and I'll talk about it, and immediately I'm like, "I should have done this 7 days ago."
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's just that acknowledgement, is that's really important. Yeah.
Amazing.